Well, we get some people here. What's up? I flew back today. I was in LA this morning, over in Anaheim. I had to get up at like 5 in the morning and get an Uber. But we had 160, 170 mile an hour tailwind, so we actually got back pretty quickly. About 30 minutes ahead of schedule, which was great. And they had already cut it down like 20 minutes based on what they knew the conditions were. So pretty fast return. On the way out, I watched 2 John Wick movies, 2 and 3. On the way back, it was just 4, which I never realized. That's a 3.5 hour movie. So it took up like most of the flight. It was pretty good. Hey Steve, you're home. It's great seeing you. And yeah, with Music Therapy Labs, yeah. Over at the at that little like rest area. I think that's in the drum room, right? Isn't that Hall C? And they they never had that before. That's like, listen, we got space to fill. Just throw tables out there with chairs. Although I love it. I mean, we need places to sit in there, so I'm glad they have it. Can't wait to see the NAMM videos. Yeah, I get some good stuff. You know, I'm going to be honest. I treated it a little bit like a vacation. You know, I didn't shoot nearly as many photos, and I did shoot a bunch of videos. I hit up, I think, Ibanez, Donner, Vola, who else? I tried to go to Ferk, but they were so busy, their booth was jammed. And he said they were having the best NAMM that he can ever, like, remember, so it was good. Hey, what's up, Alshon? Did I spring by the press room? I don't, and I had a press pass, I had a media pass, but I don't think I did. I did get up to the 3rd floor, and I did walk around a little bit, but, it wasn't, I think they could have used better signage. It wasn't as clear, like exactly where things were once you got up there. I think down on the 2nd and on the 1st floors, it was much easier, especially the 1st floor, just big open. But on the 2nd floor, there were larger things out there. But I think on the 3rd floor, it looked a little more muted. It felt like, well, this is sort of like only for like dealers. You know, it wasn't very inviting. But there probably was open for media. I just never really got up there. I only went up to the 3rd floor, I want to say once or twice. And that was about it. Anything new from Kramer? I didn't see anything there. I don't think Kramer was displaying. But check the website. The real Johnny Bean says hi. Yeah, I did run into Johnny Bean at the NAMM show. And as we speak, it's now starting to rain 63 miles from NAMM and Camarillo. That goes, yeah. I saw that rain was in the forecast, so that was good news. You know. Yeah, I'm back already. Yeah, I left this morning. I set the alarm for 5. I got up and Ubered right over, and took a little bit to get an Uber because the guy I think was coming from LAX and dropping someone off, and then once he was done with that, he came and got me. It took about 20 minutes, but I was up like 2.5 hours before my flight, so we had plenty of time. Actually, just about 3 hours before my flight. So, I was not. That's how you live a stress-free life. just give yourself ample time. You don't have to worry about it. Hey, what's up, speaker? What's up, Retro Puffer? So, it was a good show. I got out there, I went out Wednesday, had a real early flight. I had to get up I think I got up around 4:30. I had a 7 a.m. flight. The flight back was 7:55. That takes a lot of pressure off those extra 55 minutes. So, with a 7 o'clock flight, I was up at like 4:30. We were out the door by 5, and I caught the bus right in from Massport. And then flight out was pretty quiet. A little turbulence when we first got up. It wasn't too bad. Straightened out after like 20 minutes. Went away for the rest of the flight. And then I got in. It was like friggin' 11 a.m. I was like, oh, I have never been to the NAMM show like this early in the day. So by the time I got my Uber out to the hotel has a 4 p.m. check-in. And here I am walking in the door at like noon. And I walk up, I said, listen, I know I'm early. He goes, you're all set. Don't worry, we have a room for you. You can check in now. No worries. So hooked me up with my room. And then I Ubered over to the show, got my badge, and then went upstairs and did a little walking around. And that was the first day. It's really hard to walk around in there because everybody's building their booth, and there are a lot of forklifts running around, and a lot of like machinery. Like you hear like people beeping all the time, and it's like you got to be real, It is just, it's pandemonium that last day before, the opening day. So you just want to stay out of the way as everybody preps. They're spending like thousands and thousands of dollars on that stuff. So went around, checked a few things out. And then I texted with the guys from Vola, and then they wound up showing up, and I helped them carrying a bunch of guitars, and they were getting those set up in their booth. Looked good, good-sized booth. And that was it. I ran into a few people, but it really didn't get going until really day one. And I ran into just about everybody. I saw, Andy, I saw Max, Arnold from Arnold Plays Guitar, got Jamie the bassist. I mean, everybody. They were all there. Henning, Trey, Landon Bailey, Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, Steve from 60 Cycle Hum. Pretty much, Mary Spender. Kafir, I saw him at the party the first night, that Wednesday night. So I saw a lot of people. I felt like I ran into Mikey Palm from PRS. He was there, It was really good. So the guys from Bad Cat saw me walking around, and he goes, hey, you should come over and check out a couple of amps. I was like, sure, I'm on my way to do something, but when I'm done with that, I'll come by. So I stop over there, and he's just about to plug me into the amp, and who walks in but Doug Rappaport? And I was like, oh, dude, I'm a big fan of your playing. He's like, oh, thanks so much. He's like, all right, and I check it out. I go, I can't play in front of this guy. You're killing me. You are killing me. And we ran through this one amp. It was pretty good, but it wasn't. I said, I need something more shreddy. And he said, I got just the amp. Hold on, we'll unplug from this one. He was plugging me into the new amp. Way more rock. We went around the corner. He had this amp that was new last year, and we plugged into that. And man, that sounded friggin' killer. And yeah, it was good. Real good. I did run into Glenn And he told me that his wife was doing like incredibly better, and that's the reason why he went to the show, because she's really on the mend, and I was just so happy to hear that. Like I said, the guy across the street from us, he had a stroke, and he actually recovered fully. You would never know he ever had a stroke. So it seems like she's on the mend, which was great news. Did I have a Pixie Licks booth? No, I did have one. No, what was that, 2018? I still got the banner out in the garage. Oh, God, it's so dry. My eye is so freaking itchy. It was so dry out there. It was like 80 degrees with a dew point of like -2. It was insane. It was like 3% humidity. It's like, you just feel it sucking all the friggin' water right out of you. I drank so much water out there. It was so dry, so windy, high winds, high temperature, and like almost no moisture whatsoever. It was insane. Santa Ana winds, man. They were coming through. It was crazy. You know. So as I was walking around, the one thing that I just kept thinking to myself is, God damn, there's a lot of guitars. Man, no shortage of friggin' guitar makers out there. Wow. It is and these are just the people that went to NAMM. And there's a lot of guitar makers out there. My God. A friggin' ton of them. But it was good. I got some video shot. I was just looking over the footage before I came on. I don't know what I changed from last year, but it seems a little bit more like the video stabilization is a little wonky. Right? It's a little flicky. And I don't know why compared to last year's footage. I must have changed something in the cam. The one thing I had to do was to use my wireless microphones, which sounded great. Those were, wow, like performed better than expected. Noise canceling, all that. We went to this one area, and it was so freaking noisy. I said, well, this will be the test of this, because damn is it noisy right now. It was just insane how loud that show was. And it's one thing when you have the close-up mic, it's really good. It's capturing nothing else, but it was the wireless with the noise cancellation, and then that was going into my phone through a USB. But to enable that, I have to go into Pro mode, and I had video stabilization on, but it doesn't seem like it's the same as the one in like dummy mode, which is I think the mode I used last year, just like video instead of Pro mode. So yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's up. We'll see. I did try THU. So THU, it's not quite out yet. It's only been announced. It's going to be out in, I think, the coming weeks. It's mainly an interface update. So there's not really new amps or anything like that. They changed how they use the Super Cab a little bit. They redesigned the interface in a major way. Not a major way. It looks exactly like it used to look, but things are moved. So like the input stuff went from the top. The input and output went from the top to the bottom. Things got moved around, but there's a huge change in how the layout happens, where you can put in a chain brake, and they've added a new mode. So instead of being able to go into like stereo mode, you could do it's the same signal, just broke into a left and right pair. They now have a parallel mode, and that operates that chain like independently. So you can literally have like a distorted sound and a clean sound simultaneously. It's just a little different than how they used to do it. So there's definitely been some signal chain modifications to it, And one cool thing that they do now is they have a new the chain brake. So you have this big long chain, and it's very long. You can go in the middle and say chain brake, and it just moves everything there down to the bottom to more fit into like a square screen. It just makes it easy to see all your items, right? It goes up and then down to another row. And you can have, I think they said, unlimited chain brakes, if you so need it. But that was a new interface change as well. So pretty good. Pretty good. Sounds like this NAMM was successful for a lot of dealers. I heard that from a lot of people. Just say, how's your NAMM going? They're like, actually really, really well. This has been a really good show for us. So I think Vola was saying that they had a great show. I know my guys, Furch, said that it was like one of the best shows I've ever had. And I have to say, we didn't even get to do a video because every time I went down there, their booth was just jammed. I'm like, I can't believe this. They're really, really... very, very busy booth. Busier than I ever remember it upstairs. They were back downstairs in the so-called acoustic section that used to be like that years ago. And then they consolidated everybody upstairs when, they didn't have, as many people displaying. So they consolidated everything upstairs. Now they have more vendors, so they're back downstairs again. But it's not where it was 5 years ago. I'd say, if anything, it's about 70%, maybe 65%, 70%. But it's a lot better than it was last year. There was way more vendors, it felt like. Did I find people to buy me dinner? No. Yes and no. On the first night, I went over to the Adam Hall, and they had the same thing last year with the tacos in the open bar and all that, and that was really good. But the second night, so that was Wednesday night, was taco night. It was Taco Wednesday, of course. And the next night, Thursday night, I really didn't have any plans. And the Vola guys, their hotel was like, it was like a 20-minute drive away. And so, like, they were going down and back to their hotel to, to go to stuff down there. And I was like, no worries. And I got back to my hotel, and I had run into Jamie, the bassist. And so I just texted him. I said, hey, man, because I knew he drove from Vegas to go to the show. And then he was going to crash at a friend's house overnight and go to the second day. So I said, hey, if you don't have any plans for dinner, there's a burger place in my hotel. It's literally called the Burger Place. And I said, if you don't have any plans for dinner, you swing on by. And he called me like a minute later. He was like, dude, I just got back to my car. I was thinking, like, what am I going to get for dinner? This is unbelievable. I'm on my way. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I said, meet me in the hotel lobby. So he showed up. We went in there. We got beers. We got burgers. It was great. So I had dinner with Jamie on the Thursday night. And then Friday night, I actually wasn't that hungry. I had a slice of pizza like earlier in the day, and I drank so much friggin' water. I just wasn't all that hungry. And then it got kind of later, and I said, well, maybe I'll get something, but I don't want, a huge meal. And I was looking on my Uber app, and they have a section called Uber Eats. And they had a Dave's Hot Chicken down the street, and I just got the small one-slider meal with the fries. And they gave me a $25 coupon. It just didn't cover the taxes and, like, I guess this delivery fees. And that worked out to like $5.19. It was pretty cheap. And the Birdie's was, not Birdie's, the Dave's Hot Chicken was so close when it showed up. It was damn good. It was really good. So I went down to the lobby to get it, and then as I was walking to wait for the guy to show up, because I knew he was going to be there any minute with my Dave's Hot Chicken. Arnold walked in. He goes, oh my God, are you at this hotel too? I said, yeah. I said, I'm just waiting. I go, have you eaten? He goes, yeah, I just got back from Habit. I said, oh, dude, I wanted Habit burger so bad, but not this year. I'll have to go back next year. And I said, but I got some Dave's Hot Chicken here. And he goes, well, I'm going to go upstairs for a little bit and unpack. He said, but I'll be back down in about a half hour to have a beer. I said, I'll come down, I'll join you. And so like 30 minutes later, we met up in the bar. We wound up sitting and having he had 2 beers, I had 1. I'm a slow drinker. And it was good. It was a great time. And that was pretty much last night. And then I was up at 5 a.m. I didn't want to really go anywhere last night. I wanted to pack and get ready to leave. I knew I had to be up at 5 a.m. I didn't want to have to like Uber from some faraway place back to my hotel. And it was just better off to just stick around the hotel, which is exactly what I did. Send over the hot chicken sandwich. I am back. Did I meet Ryan from 60 Cycle or Brian, the mannequin? I did. I can give you guys. Let me see. I don't have a lot. I don't know where. Let me look what I have here for photos. Let me photos. Hold on. Photo. And here. Boink. All right. I did not take a lot of photos, but I'll clue you in on the seamy underbelly of the NAMM show. Day 1. It's mostly pallets wrapped in plastic as people unwrap their gear and start setting up their booth. You can see the day 1 is a lot of forklifts, pretty much, because it's the day before the show opened. So the show doesn't open until the next day. But I can get in because I had an exhibitor pass. And then we had to go up to the Boss booth. And so I just took a shot of their the pedal wall, covering all the Boss pedals. And the string wall. I covered all the strings. Kind of looks like Space Invaders. Some palm trees. I did not shoot a lot of photos. My hotel's wood paneling in the elevator was flame maple. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. This was Beatronics. And all the Beatronics stuff. It's my half-hearted attempt at like shooting photos. There's Fluff early in the morning doing a sound check with Marshall. It's funny because I'm walking up, I hear chug, 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 chug. I go, is that Fluff? It was Fluff. There's me and Andy. I think it's the only photo I took with other people. Of course, Ryan and, is that Brian? I'm trying to get him to look like the, I said, you have to look like, the thing, like the mannequin. It was creepy. Not gonna lie. It's the stuff of nightmares. That was a guitar top in the, I want to say, Mayonis booth. I'm pretty sure. I think this is also in the Mayonis booth. They had some interesting looking tops. I thought that was, there was a lot of acrylic tie-ins, I thought, this year. There's a few more sort of interesting paint jobs. And that's my last day. That's like literally all the photos I took. That's from my hotel room. I overlooked the 5, which I can assure you is pretty damn loud. I had to wear earplugs except for the last night because I want to be able to hear my alarm. But the first 3 nights I had to wear earplugs to sleep. I think that's pretty much all my photos. I did not take a lot of photos this year. I did shoot video. Tease guitars? I don't remember. They might have been. You know, there's so many guitar vendors. You could go to the NAMM site and look them up. Yeah, Rip John Sykes. I think that happened since we last talked. That was, he was only 65. It's pretty young. I think it was cancer, right? Yeah, it was a bummer to hear that. In fact, we were talking about it out at NAMM. Like, we sort of all agreed that 87 Whitesnake album just wouldn't have had that sound without Sykes on guitar. You know, and sadly, he got replaced on the tour for some reason. Maybe they genuinely just didn't get along. I don't know. But Coverdale went with, I want to say, who was it? Adrian Vandenberg? And was it Steve Vai? No, Steve Vai was with, I think he was still with Dave at that point. I think it was Adrian Vandenberg and, not Vivian Campbell. Who else was in the band? I can't remember on that tour. Garth Hudson? I don't know who that is. But maybe he was the other guitar player. Was it Vivian Campbell? Was it Vivian Campbell on that tour? Yeah, it's sort of ringing a bell that it was Vivian Campbell on that tour. Right? The DL thing was sort of over, and he had moved to, I thought, you know, yeah, it was Vivian Campbell. So if I was later, yeah, 90, yeah. He does at least 2 tours with Roth, right? I think the 86 tour and then like another one in 88. Yeah. Yeah, Vivian Campbell. Do-do-do-do. Vi was Slip of the Tongue, yeah. What year is that? Is that later? Is that 90? Garth Hudson was from the band. Yeah, dude, I couldn't tell you any of the members of the band other than the drummer and Robbie Robinson, right? That's about it. And they were the band for Dylan, right? They were Dylan's band. That's how they got the name. How much do you love that Rev Star? I do like this Rev Star a lot. I really do. It's nice. I finally had to pull that plastic off that pickup that was annoying me, and I couldn't get it to stay on. So the plastic is still on the neck pickup, but I had to take it off the bridge. The air was so dry there. You know, you're talking a lot. Hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And you're always shooting the breeze and blah, blah, blah. You know, my lips got so friggin' chapped. I mean, I was in like, it was like, I'm dying. I'm going, oh my God. And you're drinking water, but water doesn't help, really. And finally, it was, I think, yesterday, I mentioned to the other guy at the Vola booth, the other Greg, Oh man, my lips are so friggin' chapped. They kill me. He goes, oh wait, hold on. He goes, I got you, man. And he ran over to his bag and he pulled out. It's like a tube you squirt it out on your finger. It's like it was like a Vaseline intensive care like lip balm. Oh my God. Oh, sweet relief. I was like, thank you. Like dying. And the funny thing is my lips like swelled up from it. You know, they become all crusty as they get rehydrated. They were so friggin' chapped. Oh my God, it was killing me. Just absolutely, it's just so friggin' dry there. You know, and again, it's all relative humidity. It's like down in the single digits. It's like, oh, man, is it dry. In fact, even Greg, who's from California, you know, he grew up there. He was like, yeah, this is dry. He goes, just sucks all the friggin' water like right out of you. I'm like, I know. Like, boy, you can really feel it. Oops, that's Prep H. That wouldn't be so bad. I would say wart. A wart stick would be worse. Yeah, here's lip balm, and it's like salicylic acid, you know. Any Cali fire issues? Well, there was a fire going on, but it was 26 miles to the north of my location. And as Jamie was explaining, who was he lived in LA for years. He moved to Vegas. But he said, you know, the Santa Ana winds blow from the southeast. He's like, so they move northwest. He said, you're south of it. So it's blowing the smoke, like, up in the other direction. So you're not... It's not blowing. It's not a north wind. He said so. It would have to be a north wind if it's a northern fire to blow the smoke down into the down into the valley. He said. He goes, so you really, but you could see it flying in. I'm like, that looks weird. You could see the smoke, but they're supposed to be getting rain. They were talking about it on the news like crazy. They're like, we're getting rain. Are they getting the fires beat down? Well, you got to remember that there was quite a lull, but this other one sort of cropped back up again. And it seemed to be, and the winds were stronger, and the Santa Ana winds definitely were kicking in. Wednesday it was windy. Thursday it was really windy, and then Friday it was less windy. But Wednesday night, man, those winds started kicking up. We were at that party. You could hear those winds. My God. They were coming in. And it's so balmy. It's so friggin' warm because they're desert winds. It's weird. It's weird to be 80 degrees in January. Unless you're from Australia. Really? You only got 9 minutes? No, they say I thought it was supposed to last through like Monday. Right? Isn't it supposed to be according to the news, they said it was going pretty much Saturday. They said Saturday night into Sunday and into Monday. But I was able to catch the LA Celtics game. My God. talk about not showing up. They beat Dallas tonight, but man, I just happened to be in the town where the Celtics were playing, and I think they lost by 23. So one of the things I was playing through at NAMM is I shot a video with Ilio, and we go over the new TH2 V2, and he had the Max Ostro pack, which is new, and some of those amps were really freaking good, man. They sounded great. Germany, boy, you're up late or early, as the case may be. One thing you don't miss, from NAMM is just the sheer amount of players, the cacophony of noise that's pretty constant. I think that's where Guitar Summit, is much better. It's a silent show. You can't, but that's just all guitars. It makes it easier. You have to remember, you still have, brass, woodwinds, drums. There's so many other instruments. You're constantly hearing someone multiple drum sets being played at any one time in the other hall. People working gongs up like real loud. Oh my God. It's like, oh dude, you're killing me. In fact, I think on my second day there, it got so loud at some point, and this one dude was just playing through this amp so friggin' loud. The sound police went over to him and said, dude, you've got to turn that down. And it was so nasty too. It was like it was like an ice pick to the friggin' eardrum. It was like the worst friggin' amp tone ever. And that drove me to put earplugs in. I really stock the earplugs whenever I go anywhere. And thank God I had them for the flight back, because I had two Yentas behind me. It just could not stop talking until the plane finally took off and they shut up. That would just make me mental. It's like, I don't need to hear, oh, and what about, oh, yeah, oh, I know. I'm sitting there going, losing my friggin' mind. It was so loud too, because they're literally right behind you, and they're all excited about their conversation. And I'm like losing my shit. And then I pull out the earplugs, toss them in, nice and tight, and it goes, shh, just drown that shit out. And I'm like, oh yes, oh thank God. I can't take it. I can't take your conversation. And I tell you, when you walk around the NAMM show, you would think throwing a set of earplugs in, and mine I think are a minus 32 dB, minus 34 dB. It's a good lowering of the volume. But because it's so friggin' loud in there, everybody's yelling at you anyway. I can hear every word everyone is saying because they're so friggin' loud, right? They have to yell to get over the din in the room. So even though I'm wearing earplugs, I can walk up and people are talking. I can hear every word they're saying because they're yeah, I really like this. Like everybody's yelling. So I just left them in. You know, I'm friggin' tuning out the world. Oh God, it was making me mental. So I had to, I learned a long time ago, just bring earplugs, because you can't control people yapping right next to you, and I don't want to be a part of your conversation. I don't want to hear you going, hey, blah, blah, blah. There was a dude at the airport one time, like, yelling into his phone, and I'm like, dude, is that like a fucking Dixie cup on a string? What are you doing? What are you doing, man? Like, yelling into that friggin', hey, yeah, so we're going, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. And earplug time. Yeah, 30 dB plus is good for airplanes. Yeah. Got stuck in a seat between two very large women folk in a 6-hour flight. Earphones didn't help. Yeah. The flight out, I had the window and this guy had the aisle, and I kept watching these people come down, and they kept walking past us, and it got a little empty. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at me, and I'm like, bro. And all of a sudden, I see I go, oh my God, the cabin door just shut. And he's like, dude, it's like, we're so psyched, right? Because there's no one in between us. It's like, it's night and day with no one in between you. And so that was awesome. And then on the flight back, I get on, and there's a young woman right next to me. And I keep waiting, and all of a sudden, I'm waiting for someone to take that seat. And I could have sworn I just saw them close the cabin door. I said, I think the cabin door just closed. She goes, hold on. She goes, if it has, I'll move. And so she asked the flight attendant, hey, has the cabin door closed? He said, yes. Everyone's aboard, cabin door's closed. And she moved right over to the aisle seat. And so again, on the whole flight back, no one in between us. God, that never happens on JetBlue. Never. They pack those planes like sardines, man. Where's my coffee? It's right here. You heard a guitar got stolen? Well, we're not, I'm not sure if it was stolen or lost in shipping. That's a little bit of a gray area, because he never had it on display. In other words, he was supposed to get like 9 boxes in shipment, and he only got 8. So that is something that could turn up. I think they said that they did find like an empty box, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's gone. The box could have been torn, right? You know what I'm saying? As it goes through shipping. So I think it's a small chance, but there is some chance that this is just more of a missing guitar than a stolen one. So I think you have to just let it go through the system, I think, with the shipping company, just to make sure. So maybe it was stolen. It probably is a good chance it was stolen, but I think there is a chance it's just a shipping screw up. A small chance. I get to try the Rockman pedal. I probably could have. I actually saw it at the Dunlop booth. When I was walking around in the morning, I walked through the Dunlop booth one morning. But no. Other than that Bad Cat amp and THU2 and maybe a handful of guitars, not really. I really don't try out shit at these shows. There are dudes that go around, they want to try out everything. That is not me. I just don't. I just don't want. In fact, I used to go to like the Fender booth and the Gibson booth and the PRS booth, and you would just see dudes sitting there playing guitar after guitar, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just not into it. It's like, for what? Why? Like, I don't get it. The Rockman would have been cool, but then you gotta. First of all, it's before the show even opens. That's when I'm walking around and do this stuff. Then you go back, and it's like, it's like I'm not a buyer. It's like I'm not there. It's like I feel like I'm wasting the dude's time. Leave it for legit buyers who will look at who own stores, who are going in there to place orders. Than me, who's just going there to waste time. The one thing that was sort of interesting, and I think it's been around for a few years, I think it's been covered before by other people, was the fart pedal. So I'm walking around in the morning, and I hear gaseous anomalies emanating from a booth. And it's the fart pedal. And that will be in a video. You'll be gassing for one. Brake like the wind. Down to your local dealer. So the guys from Bad Cat were telling me that they're going to send me one of that amp. I think they're just going to loan it to me. I don't expect them to give me that amp. But do I even really want it? It sounds like it's an expensive thing. It's like, do I really need that? Not really. THU2 on the other hand, lay it on me, bro. Oh, I found out the upgrade price, $29. If you bought it after November 24th, it's free. But if you bought it before November 24th, 2024, it'll be $29 upgrade fee from the current version, THU. Yeah, the fart pedal. Any thoughts on the new import Fender line? Fender did not have a showcase. They did, it was dealers only. They had people out front, checking names to see if you had an appointment to go in and meet with Fender. And they probably had some stuff on display in there, but I wasn't on the list. I retried my Rockman THU patches on the Rockeye stuff. Sounds like the bussin'. I think so. That's why I'm less interested in the pedal, because it's like literally built right into THU. They have a Rockman style amp right in there, whole kit, chorus in the whole 9 yards. No, the fart pedal is not in 4D. It's only in 3D. So no smell. Epiphone Les Paul Custom and Viper Blue looks sick. I haven't seen that yet. That sounds good. The Ibanez had a guitar that was all blue that looked pretty crazy. They were there with it, and I did a nice video with Dan from Ibanez, and God, there was this kid there, showing off. It's like, dude, okay, a bunch of scales. It's like this dude, and he was playing so loud. It's like, really, dude, really. Yeah, Amplitude has a Rockman too. Yeah. It's just a highly compressed light chorus with a massive mid boost, Do I even have a patch set up here? I did my own reverb. But see, a lot more noise. It's been such a long time. That's what it really sounds like. Do you put that in there? I-do-do. All right, we gotta get this back over there. Yeah, it's wicked sick. Strangest looking guitar at NAMM. You know, there's always a bunch of weird ones. There was some sculpture ones that were, I thought, pretty stupid and kind of rough. Didn't look all that great. You know, it's all, quite frankly, a lot of rehashing of the same stuff. Really. What delay am I running? My normal stereo delay. I think they just call it delay. D delay? I think D delay. D dash delay. And of course I run it in stereo mode. Pro Audio starts the EVH Wolfgang Special Seafoam Green for $6.39. That's pretty good. That's a real good price. Someone said that Adorama, we're blowing out one of the relics. Might have been the red one. One of the relic colors, maybe all of them, for $6.99. I'd seen it for $7.99 before, but that's the lowest I've ever heard. $6.99. It's $1,000 off when they came out. Hi, Steve, Dallas, Fort Worth area checking in. So let me ask you this: if I take a flight, normally when I would go to the Dallas International Guitar Festival, I would go in the Love Field, right? But there's no direct flights there. They're all very expensive now. My cheapest one by far is going to DFI, right? Dallas Fort Worth International, which is a much bigger airport. So how long of a drive is it to get from there to get down to like downtown Dallas. Is that like an hour's drive, or is it more like, 30 minutes? How many miles a day did I walk? Well, on Thursday I walked 8 miles. It was 12.8 kilometers. It was a little over 17,000 steps. Day 2 it was less. I think it was like, I could probably look it up. Oh, I just got an email from the fart pedal guy. Steve, toot toot. Look at this. The fart pedal. Toot toot. And he said, hey man, thanks for coming by and checking out the fart pedal, man. I was like, sure. You got it, bro. Let's see here. Hold on. What's so funny is I got a warning from my Samsung Health. They're like, well, your newfound exercise, is a step in the right direction. Overexerting yourself can be worse. They're basically warning me, like, you're doing too much exercise. They're like, slow down there, hotshot. Do they have my steps? Where the frick are my frickin' steps? Is it here? Yeah. So, the day I flew in, it was 11,890 steps, 5.5 miles. The first day of the show, the main show, 17,600 steps, 8 miles. And then yesterday, it was less, 13,000. I left early, actually. I left around 3. 13, because I got there at like 7:30 in the morning. When I go to the show, I literally get there like super early. 13,638, 6.23 miles. It's like 16 miles from DFW level. Oh, that doesn't sound like that much at all, especially if you're on the highway. 16 miles. That sounds pretty damn close. How much did you sell? Well, you can buy that on Amazon for about $250. I don't need to sell you one. My Samsung, you've set goals. Today the day you achieve them. Dude, I've been trying to get into developers mode to somehow shut that shit off. It's like, I didn't ask for this. I don't want this. Can't we just turn this off? That said, I did just buy the new Galaxy S25. It should be here in a couple of weeks. I bought it like the day I flew in because it was announced that day. I went right up on Google, and through Google, because I'm on a Google Fi. They had it $650 off, which is basically half price. I was like, sure, sign me up, bro. No trade-in necessary. And I only have to stay on the service for 120 days. But I have no plans on leaving it, so it's so much cheaper than, AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile. A lot cheaper. If you don't use a lot of data. If you're on your phone all the time and you don't have Wi-Fi, then yeah, it'll be more expensive. Why'd I fly across the country to walk 8 miles? It's a lot flatter. You know, it's a little hilly around here. Needed like a flatter surface. You know how that goes. You know, why kill yourself, you know? Just take a quick 6.5 hour plane ride, and you can find much better terrain to work with. Off of my S23. Just stop giving me those updates. Really? No, I thought they said on the S23 they were going to do 4 major updates at least. So I think there's only been 2. So should be good for at least a couple more updates now. Apple Watch tells me to breathe, yeah. So, I was talking with the Ibanez people, and they were saying that they're going to be doing a festival in the spring, like Ibanez Fest in Germany, and they can't cover my flight, but they can like put me up in a hotel and the food and all that stuff, which is can add up. So I might look into it. I'll just see where the prices are at, and that's only about a 20-minute drive from Tolman. So if I planned it right, I could also go over and hit Tolman for a day or two, and then fly out. And knowing where Tolman is, I'd probably have to fly to either Frankfurt or Munich, and then fly into Nuremberg. And then it's just a 2-hour drive from there. Oh, Bald Shredder, very cool to meet you as well. It's not really. I mean, it could be a shred tone. Not really. A little too bright, no? Oh, wait, let's put the focus knob on. Definitely sounds a little more humbucky. Semi-shreddy? Not really. Did Line 6 come out with anything new at NAMM? I didn't really check Line 6. I'm trying to think. I know they were present, but I forget. Were they displaying? They probably were, and I just missed them. Especially if they weren't on the... Were they on the main floor? The whole thing's kind of turned into a blur. Bit of a blur. I mean, I should give you a pain in the ass. Oh no, a Pia. Okay. The DFW to Dallas Hall Market is about 30 minutes. You know what? That's doable. I really like the Dallas show. If you've never been to the Dallas show, it's a pretty decent show. It's more vintagey. You're gonna see it's more like vintage guitars and a lot of blues acts. But it's a great show. I really enjoy it. Metalhead Hippie, what's up, buddy? Favorite John Sykes song? Probably, you know. Hold on, I have to turn the focus knob on. What's it? Oh God! I have to think about it. I'm relying on muscle memory here. Something like that, right? Come on, guys. I had a 6.5 hour flight. Oh, well, really, 4.5 hour flight. I gotta practice that. I have to practice everything. Was that a scratch I'm hearing? Am I hearing a scratch, Kitty? Oh, no, that's the front door. That's the front door. My son coming home from work. Just like a rev star should sound. Man. Cream guitar's looking good this year. They're really featuring that guitar that uses that e-ink, right? The electronic ink front that literally can change colors. If you don't like the color of your guitar, just wait a sec. It will change. You know, Johnny Bean, there he is. Is this the real Johnny Bean? Johnny Bean, how many fingers am I holding up? That's not a good test. Hey, what's up, Music Therapy Lass? Yeah. We mentioned that earlier. The hooking up in that little, I guess it was, they were calling it a newsstand? Was that what they called it? It's like a little cafeteria. God, I'm out of tune. I'm hearing some, a little bit. Come on. Oh, yeah. E. That's not looking good. Yeah, you can tell these are new strings because they're all just a little flat. Come on. You have to wait for the nut to catch up, you know? Oh, shit. I did it again. Hold on. Come on. Where are you? Right there. I left the tuner on. It mutes it. Why am I not getting a sound? You left the tuner on, dum-dum. It's the real me, Laz has proof. Okay. great NAMM this year. I thought it was pretty good. It felt closer. I mean, compared to 2019, 2020, I still think it's, 70, 75% of the way back. But last year it felt more like 60%. So we're getting there year after year. And I can tell you this much, the stories I've been hearing out of NAMM was that the dealers were telling me that, the vendors were telling me that they were having a very successful year. And that may spur more people to, to go to it. Oh, thanks, Dan. I'm not feeling it. My friggin', I got a touch of the cold hand. It's funny because I was playing these riffs and they're like, "Oh man, it sounds great." I go, "Feel my hands." He goes, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Dude, my hands are like ice. Freaking dying over here." Johnny B stole your hamburger, Johnny. Come on, again with the hamburgers. You use an overdrive with your amp model THU. Not this particular patch. Some patches I do, but not this one. This is all amp. Yeah, Johnny, you're the Hamburglar, damn it. All right, guys, maybe a little bit more, and I should probably, at some point, get to bed. Considering I was up at 5 a.m., though that 5 a.m. is really 8 a.m. this time. It's messing with my head. What amp model do you use in THU? This is the Brit 87. And I think it has a YJM pedal in front of it. When it was captured, right? It's a print. We were talking about that. I was talking to this young dude, and he knew the God, I can't think of his name now. He's on I'll look him up on Instagram right now. All right, I gotta check that. KDH. I ran into KDH, and he just sent me something because I think we took a pic together at some point. So I'm probably tagged in one of the pics. Let me see if I can find that guy's name. Is it Zach or it's like Zach or something. Zach something. So, oh yeah. It's here. Joey Z. I knew there was a Z in there. This guy Joey Z on Instagram. Joey Z Guitar. Young guy. Into the Van Halen, as I am as well. And so we were talking about it, and he was playing a little bit of Panama. You got to hit that last one like 3 times, right? And he did it. I said, well, dude, I'm going to tell you this. You nailed it. Nailed it. And it was refreshing because you usually see people kind of butcher that. They go, you know, they just repeat it, but it's not. It's a very specific sequence. And he had it exact. I was like, nice. Nice. Kind of need a bar. Try it with the mid switch on. Better? Versus brighter. Better. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit of an eye-opener to walk out into the Boston weather after leaving LA. It was like 26 degrees out. Luckily, no wind, or it would have been brutal out there waiting for the bus. Is that a patch you created in THU? For the most part, like a lot of my patches, it starts out as like a bass patch. This was like a Brit 87 patch, and then in fact, what was it? I don't know if I changed the name of the patch. Yeah, DOD YJM 308. Inventive. And it is what it says it is. DOD YJM 308 is the patch name, and it's a Brit 87, channel 1. And I got it kind of cranked up. It's, you know, I got the gain up at about 2 o'clock. So and then I have a bunch of stuff on it. Like a hold on. I actually can't even put this all the way down. It's hitting the base of this desk right here. And my foot's caught in my friggin'... Come on, get out of there, you. Oh, no, it's caught on the pedal. There we go. There we go. See, this is why I don't use pedals. Alright? It's a goddamn minefield. Alright, anyway. Let me hit that here. Can I get that? Yeah. And I also have a little octave pedal. And a phaser. And of course the Hendrix phaser. Sure. You can't have too many. I've always said you can't have too many phasers. And of course a flanger. was like, or you can go. That also works. Is that a new couch? Well, I think I got it last January. About a year old. It was like $225 on Amazon. Marshall won Best in Show for the modded JCM 800. They were having, dude, that booth. That was that was $150,000 to $200,000 booth if I ever saw one. All right, that thing looked expensive. That booth reeked of money. What's up, Zach? Yamaha's holding pretty good tune, but it's a brand new guitar roughly with exactly, that's the kitty couch, and that's Buddy's throne right there. But he can't just sit on a couch. He needs to sit on a pillow on a couch. What's up, Matt? The new Friedman amp, Jose, looks really good. I didn't get to check out Boutique much. I mean, I walked by them in the morning when it was empty, but their booth was pretty busy. And, that's where going all 3 days, you have more time to maybe try and go in and talk with people a little bit more and go over stuff. But, there's so many people doing that. To me, it's really a little bit of a reunion with friends, keeping up relationships with people, and doing some gear coverage, without a doubt. But I think I used to be more ambitious. You know how that goes. I used to carry a much bigger rig. Now I'm down to just using my phone and, some advanced microphone technology, just to, bump up the audio. But, and I sent that Osmo Action 5 back before I even left for NAMM, because I had no intention on keeping it. So why even wait? Looks like a badass amp, but I can't even imagine the price. I'm going to say it's up there. I'm going to say it's up there. It's going to be a fairly pricey, amp. I would be surprised if it wasn't. When you think about the new Marshall pedals, I didn't get a chance to check them out. Their booth was pretty busy, a lot of the time. And when you get there in the morning, they're like setting up. It's sort of just like so weird. There's like no good time. You're either fighting the crowds to try and get in there and get some sort of audio, or you're getting in their way as they're trying to set up for the day. So I was like, you can read about it on the internet. Exactly, Dan. There's just too much gear available. It's not so much the same stuff, but it's everybody's interpretation of, the concept of guitars and pedals, a distortion pedal, an amp, right? It's everyone's take on it. Thoughts on Soldano? Soldano's, there's a reason why almost every single modeler out there has a Soldano amp in it. Right? It is its own sound. There is a Soldano sound, that a little bit more mid-push than a lot of amps, without a doubt. But they have their own sound, and it's a pretty damn good sound too. So, again, much like that Marshall we were just talking about, not, they're not an entry-level amp. And definitely a few bucks. All right, there's a couple more minutes, and then I want to call it a night because I think I'm ready for bed here. One thing I hadn't mentioned recently is I had an inline fan. We used to have a problem with the heat only being in this main area in the basement, and we didn't really have a vent down here. And but it would get warm down here just because the furnace was so friggin' hot. It was an old oil burner. And so I had an inline fan and then like a dryer tube, and I used to just blow the warmer air from here into this back room because I was worried about the pipe for the outside hose runs through this back room, and it would get so cold down in that corner. I would use this like inline fan in this thing to suck the warm air, and I actually used a dryer, like vent line, and I would suck it in up at the top near the ceiling of the main room and blow it down to the floor of the back room. And it worked. It worked. But then we got, I think it was in 2008, we had a whole new, furnace put in, air conditioning system put in, and they actually put a vent down here, and it was never an issue after that. Right? It's always been fine after that. But I knew I had that inline fan, and I picked up a charcoal canister for the fan. You can just mount it on one side of it, and you literally hang it by the canister. And I have it over in the back room where the kitty litter is, because everything is covered with dust, and you're like, what is that? And it smells like perfume. It smells like the freaking kitty litter. There's like a fine layer of like, dust from the kitty litter. And so I said maybe the charcoal canister, will work for the kitty litter. And my God, it's been amazing. First of all, it reduces the smell of the because it's charcoal, of the kitty litter, and of the cats in general in a major way. And it has really cut down the dust down here. So it's cheap. I had the inline fan there, like 20, 30 bucks. No, 30, 40 bucks. And the canister, I want to say, was like 30, 35 bucks. So I already had the fan, and I just added the canister. I know, I'm back already. Well, it only went until today. If I wasn't back today, I'd be back tomorrow. The show would end today. I'd be back one more day. So, it's not the 4-day show it used to be. It's down to 3 days. HEPA filtered by the litter box helps. Yeah, this is kind of like that. It's like a cheap version. HEPA is more expensive than what I'm running. I'm basically running an inline fan with a charcoal canister, and the canister does come with like a it's almost like a stretchy felt like outer cover just to keep it from getting clogged too quickly. It's like a replaceable, like almost like a dust sheath that goes over it. But the charcoal is really good at getting rid of the friggin' stank, the litter box stank. It's been just amazing. You know, you've had a busy week. I have. Get a Honeywell air filter. This was just a way to leverage something I already owned. So the canister was only like $35, something like that. So, all right, dudes. It is 11:47, and I'm ready for bed. I'm calling it. Casino hands. I will see you guys next Saturday for a new one. Check out an all new Guitar of the Week on Monday. I gotta figure out. I have a couple of guitars I could feature. I have 2 left that I haven't taken out of the box yet, and I have to choose wisely. They're both pretty good, but I think I know the way I'm leaning. We'll see. But check that out. That comes out on Monday, and there you have it. No, you rock. And I'll see you guys in a week. And I was happy I could finally come on here and make it here. I think I dozed off a little bit earlier. Ready to come on. I probably slept 20 minutes. But I made it. I did not miss a week. Just let the record show. All right, dudes. I'm going to run. Have a great week. And I'll see you next week. And later.